Holly, thanks for joining us to talk about this important story. What's been the reaction to it?
So it's had a phenomenal reaction. The video has and the story itself has essentially, sparked outrage across the country. In a rare move yesterday, both sides of the House, so the opposition and the Prime Minister's side, stood up in unison to universally condemn the remarks made in this video. We've heard from sexual assault survivors, we've heard from lawyers, we've heard from Indigenous women's groups who said, if you're surprised at this kind of video, then you haven't been paying attention to what we've been saying for decades.
Now, of course, as we know, this will bring a lot of attention to the young girl involved. How's she handling that?
She's okay. She has, just this incredible resilience and courage. She is, of course, overwhelmed by the support, but also overwhelmed by the attention. I mean, this is a big, big deal, and we're the only news outlet that is really directly in touch with her. So I'm very concerned about making sure that we're reporting this in a trauma-informed way, checking in with her on what is being reported. We've gotten a little bit of pushback from people saying, that this is exploitation, we're exploiting this situation. That's not the case. The victim herself essentially wanted this story out there. I won't say she initiated it, but she definitely has been supportive of the coverage that we've been giving it. Yeah.
It has received a lot of reaction and struck a chord with a lot of people that we're seeing, in comments and stuff, the general public. Why do you feel that is?
Well, I think because it crosses all boundaries, right? This is a really rare intersection where we see gender-based violence clash with authority. We see race-based violence clash with authority. Women, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, have said for years that this is how they're treated when they walk into police stations. Now, this is a very graphic example of that. The types of interrogation was, techniques that you reserve for a hardened criminal, not somebody who had come to, to look for some justice and help. I think part of the other reason that it's resonating so strongly with people is because of this sympathy towards this young person. I had to watch the first, the entire 2.5 hour long video, and I was just amazed. I'm not sure that I would have held up to that kind of questioning, and she never capitulates, she never changes her story. So I think it's a really graphic example of how we need some judicial reform in how sexual assault victims, in particular Indigenous sexual assault victims, are being treated by the police.
There's a lot of government officials and politicians weighing in on this. What happens next?
Well, right now we're just looking at what kind of follows that we can do. There's certainly a lot of things that are developing as we go forward. We are hoping to talk to the Children's Advocate in BC tomorrow. We've gotten reaction from the Minister, the BC Minister of Child and Family Development, to say that it is a sickening video, and expressing that they're going to need to make some changes here. The RCMP has been fairly tight-lipped about what they're planning to do about this. So we're following, and we're going to stay on this story, and there will be some very significant developments next week.
Well, Holly, we appreciate you coming on and speaking with us about it.
Thanks so much, Dennis. Thanks.